Toronto is the most densely packed episode of this season of the Vampire Lestat yet. An hour that successfully condenses hundreds of pages of Anne Rice's source material into a series of flashback visions that Lestat projects directly into Daniel's mind, only revealing at the episode's close that none of it was captured on camera. It was a telepathic prank, a private performance for an audience of one. The footage shows only Lestat sitting in silence for 30 minutes. Serving cunt has its consequences, he observes, in voiceover. This is, somehow, the episode's funniest moment, and its most thematically revealing. Because the entire episode has been, in microcosm, what Lestat always does. He performs his history rather than inhabiting it, and may have done so for so long that even the performance has become a kind of truth. The episode's central achievement, as per usual for this show, is Sam Reid's performance, and I want to dwell on it for a moment, because what he does here is genuinely extraordinary. The Lestat of the interview chair is dismissive and theatrical, deploying boredom as a weapon, performing his own biography with a detachment of someone who has had 2.5 centuries to develop an act. But the flashbacks, to young Lestat's arrival in Paris, to his reunion with his childhood friend and first love, Nicolas de l'Enfant, to most notably, his terror at the hands of his maker Magnus, as we finally get our best look yet at the night he was turned into a vampire, reveal what the act is protecting. The posture of the young man encountering Nikki for the first time, the adoring eyes and physical shyness, communicates a vulnerability that the present-day Lestat has buried under layers of performance so thick that even he may have lost track of where the performance ends. A quarter millennium later, the feelings are still raw, and Sam Reid delivers all of this without leaving his chair. It's one of the finest performances on television right now. The material involving Magnus, the violating, terrifying circumstances of Lestat being turned, is handled through a musical sequence that reconstitutes his trauma as a pop ballad music video, with Magnus as Lestat's biggest fan. Blood-drained corpses suspended above a dining table like fresh pasta hung up to dry. It's the episode's most ambitious gamble, a window into how Lestat uses humor and hyper-stylization to deflect his worst experiences. Jacob Anderson's Louis carries the episode's B-plot with quiet intensity, a visit to a vampire nest staged with the controlled, almost nonchalant brutality that has come to define this version of the character. The sequence culminates in Louis reading aloud from Claudia's diary, passages describing the abuse she suffered at the hands of the vampire he's destroying, words that were too painful for him to confront in earlier seasons. It is a moment of justice and violation simultaneously, Louis giving Claudia's pain a voice while breaching the privacy she had been granted in death. And it ends with something quieter and more devastating. Louise seeking out the diner waitress he had previously mentioned who looks like her. And Jacob Anderson says more in that final look than some actors manage in entire episodes. Toronto is an extraordinary episode of television, offering a portrait of a central character who has survived extraordinary trauma by transmuting it into performance, who tells the story of his own life as entertainment so that he never has to fully feel it. Lestat watched women burn as a child. He watched his first love deteriorate into madness. He was violated by his maker in an act that gave him eternal life, and all of it becomes material. A song, a music video, a telepathic prank played on a documentarian. A performance sustained for so long that the performer and the performance have become impossible to separate. Sam Reid understands this completely, and in Toronto, he makes sure we do too. The Vampire Lestat continues on AMC, so let me know in the comments. What do you think of the season's approach to Lestat's backstory so far? Do you hope to see even more of Lestat's time in the 18th century? And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Fandom Frontline for more reviews as the season unfolds.